What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Sam Talk Sports. Let's talk about Magic Johnson criticizing the LA Lakers. We as Lakers fans can't accept being outplayed, but we deserve more than a lack of effort and no sense of urgency. Owner, Genie Bus, you deserve better. I completely see where Magic Johnson is coming from, but at the same time, I feel like he needs to tranquillo, he needs to calm down a little bit. The Lakers are literally midway through the season. They're the 9th seed. Yeah, they're struggling, but was this really necessary, Obviously, the season has not been as ideal, as smooth as the Lakers may have hoped for after trading for Russell Westbrook. And yes, Russell Westbrook has struggled this season, but, he's playing his heart out. He's trying to improve every single game, and I really like his response to Magic Johnson's critique. No reaction, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And obviously, this quote statement by Magic Johnson, it's not going to be easy for the Lakers to hear, but I don't feel like there's a need for the Lakers to press a panic button midway through the season. They're still figuring things out, and as you can see by the article right here, Melo echoes LeBron, likes parallels to 2022 Bucks. I would agree. Also, before we move on to that, Howard agreed with Westbrook. Johnson and the way he delivered that message was quite, extreme in a sense, because he was kind of just bashing them, saying, oh, they don't put enough effort on the court, no sense of urgency. But I don't feel like the Lakers, are not trying hard. It's the regular season for them. After all, they're a team made up of veterans. So let's move on. Carmelo Anthony, Tom Brady, Bucks, LeBron James. I really see this happen. I see the correlation between the two. LeBron James, you don't really doubt LeBron James at this point. He has found lots of success in the finals, the playoffs. He has made the finals 10 times. I know that he lost 6 times, but LeBron has proven to elevate himself and his team in the playoffs. We all know LeBronto, how he dominated Toronto all those years. And like the Bucks, they kind of struggled that first year with Brady, 7-5 overall, and then they caught fire. I definitely could see this happening for the Lakers. And if anything, I think the Lakers' struggles this season could kind of partially be due to LeGM and some of the questionable decisions he made over the past offseason until now. I know, LeGM is like a joke, but I do feel like LeBron plays a huge role in who comes to the Lakers and who gets traded away from the Lakers. So first off, let me just comment by saying that AD will return, and when AD is back, as long as AD isn't Anthony Davis, he's healthy, him and OBJ is a real solid 1-2 punch, and that is literally going to pretty much guarantee that they'll be at least a top 6 seed in the West. 5th or 6th seed is where I see them, going this season if AD is healthy after he returns. You look at AD's stats. Beautiful. Nothing much to complain about. He just needs to stay healthy. That's it. But if you look at the LA Lakers this season, points per game 5th, rebounds 13th, assists 12th. Above average, definitely playoff material. And what I want to mention is I don't understand why they traded away Rajon Rondo this season. In a 3-team trade, at the start of the new year. Please explain to me, someone from the Lakers, why you traded away Rondo, a premier point guard in this league, a pure point guard. He literally was such a key component to the Lakers championship team in 2019-2020. Look at the stats from that season. I know his shooting is never the best, but he's a pure point guard. And for a team like the Lakers, they need that leadership, that, signal caller in the games, especially in the playoffs, 2020. Stellar shooting percentage as well. But I don't understand why the Lakers would trade away Rondo. Yeah, he might not be that important in the regular season. He was not having that great of a season statistically wise this season, you know, poor shooting numbers. But in the playoff Rondo, you gotta trust that. So this trade befuddled me, especially since who did they acquire? Louis Labrie or whatever you pronounce that. Sorry for butchering your last name, Louis. But Louis was drafted in 2014, and he hasn't been in the NBA for the past 7 years. Probably won't be in the NBA anytime soon. Won't contribute to the Lakers this season. So why the heck did the Lakers trade away Rondo? A piece that would definitely help them in the playoffs, has proven to be a valuable piece in their championship team just 2 seasons ago. Unless Rondo requested the trade, I don't see why this happened. So, you know, LeGM, why would you trade away Rondo? But moving on, LeGM also made, I wouldn't say this was a bad decision, because I felt like had the Lakers maintained status quo with KCP, Harrell, and who else did they trade away? Kuzma, they probably would be in a similar situation now. Maybe a slight improvement, but not championship contender material. I just talked about Rajon Rondo, you know, not great stats, but reliable in the playoffs. But Russell Westbrook, this trade, you know, for those 3 players I mentioned, Westbrook has really struggled this season, especially his shooting and his turnovers. I enjoy watching Westbrook play, but he is also a bit frustrating at times, because I feel like he only knows how to play at 1 speed, quite extreme, you know, quite fast, and his decision making sometimes, especially when it comes to shots, just doesn't float the boat for me. And I have my concerns on whether Russell Westbrook as the 3rd star on the Lakers will be enough to lead them to another championship. But that's besides the point. We look at Kuzma, we look at Caldwell Pope, we look at Harrell. All 3 of them are having great seasons on the Wizards. Kuzma, you know, he's showing why he could be a much better player with an expanded role. KCP, solid on defense, reliable 3-point shot. Harrell, I feel like the Lakers really miss Harrell this season. I feel like he was underutilized, and the centers on the Lakers this season, nobody comes close to the production that Harrell can provide. Dwight Howard, no, okay. DeAndre Jordan, okay. But I also question LeGM in the sense of how he feels like this team will approach the trading season this upcoming, you know, couple weeks. Last season, the Lakers wanted Taylor Horton Tucker, so they didn't, you know, make that Kyle Lowry trade. If they had Lowry on the team instead of Westbrook, and let's say they kept like a KCP, a Harrell, or other components, I feel like the Lakers will be much more equipped with Lowry, you know, a championship winner with Toronto a couple years back, as their lead point guard over Westbrook, who demands the ball a lot and doesn't shoot that well. You know, Westbrook doesn't really space the floor, and Lowry would have done that. So I felt like over from last offseason until now, questionable trades have been made by the Lakers, and as things stand right now, I don't see them making, you know, the NBA Finals. I see them making the playoffs for sure, but I'm definitely very intrigued at this upcoming, you know, couple weeks. Will the Lakers make any trades? And if they make trades, what kind of trades will they make to improve the team? Because guys like Avery Bradley, who has started 30 games this season, I don't think he's enough of, you know, he's not good enough of a player to be a starter on a championship team. And, you know, I gotta give a huge shout out to Malik Monk. He's had a brilliant year. But this team, the Lakers, as they're built right now, full of veterans, that'll only be an advantage to them in the playoffs. And let's go with one final point in this video. Let's say the Grizzlies or the Mavericks plays the Lakers. I got the Lakers because the Lakers with all that veteran presence. I don't think the Grizzlies or Mavericks, if they face the Lakers in the playoffs, if the Lakers are healthy, AD is healthy, LeBron James is healthy, Westbrook is healthy, I don't see them beating the Lakers. But if the Lakers face a team with more veteran experience, like the Warriors, the Jazz, or even the Suns, who made it to the finals last year, I don't see them standing a chance unless they make some changes. What those changes are, well, we'll find out in the next couple weeks. But man, Lakers, it's only halfway through the season. No need to panic that much. They'll be alright. Alright, that's the end of this prediction. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to live a spicy life. Peace.